Welcome everybody to a new night with social economic networkers. This is an amazing opportunity that is changing the lives of people all over the world. It changed my life a year ago, and now I'm so honored to be introducing a friend, a former classmate, a current team member, and somebody that I admire a lot because of her courage, her passion to grow, and who never stops. Even though there may be difficulties on the way, she is a she's a force, a warrior, and she's a mentor of mentors. She's a great leader. She's Whitney Owens. She's my team member from Kentucky. So from Kentucky, Whitney is going to be telling us about this amazing business opportunity with social economic networkers. We are doing this presentation for you, for people who may be interested in a new opportunity to change quality of life, to generate a residual income, to have a different lifestyle, and to know that we are a team, not only here online, we are in more than 120 countries. No matter where you go, there is a team waiting for you with Sam. So with that, I welcome Whitney to tell us about you, how you came into this opportunity, and what our business is about.
Well, thank you, Erika. You are such a wonderful person, and I've been so honored to have you as my mentor and my friend, and someone who has pulled me out of some dark places in the few months that I've known you, and offered me something that I never dreamed possible, especially something that is achievable and that has practical application in the daily basis. So I'm so excited to be talking about how I became a part of the social economic network. And so, first of all, I want to start out with telling you about where I was at when Erika reached out to me and first introduced me to this opportunity. So I had gone to the same college as her, Berea College, which is a wonderful place. But after graduation, I chose to get married, and I didn't use my degree immediately. I became a mommy very quickly, and with all of that intense transformation that was going on in my life, I tried to look for a job in my career field, but I wasn't able to find anything in my local area, and that became very disappointing to me. And I am a person that has been prone to having anxiety and depression, and so I just decided I'm going to be a mommy for right now. And eventually that became, well, now I need to make an income, and I'm going to just try to do whatever it is that I can still be a mommy, still be my primary care provider, not put my child in daycare, but make as much money with as little work hours as possible. So I am a school bus driver, and so with the awesome opportunity here, I'm able to use some of my extra time between hours and shifts to do what I'm doing as a network marketer. So the problem was that my husband was having to work full-time, I was working part-time, and all we felt was we are making ends meet every month. We are not able to achieve anything more than that, and usually we are barely having a little bit of extra money at the end of the month. And that just didn't seem like something that we could provide a safety net for our son. We couldn't provide a home for the future, and it became so desperate. We were thinking, well, we are going to have to move to a really big city or someplace where we can find jobs in our career fields, and both of us be working 40 hours a week and really pushing our energy to the limit in order to make enough money to achieve our dreams. And so it was getting extremely depressing because we're doing so much and yet seeing so little fruit to our labor. And then what happened was Erika reached out to me and she said, I work with this group, this wonderful group, and it's a network, and we work with to help people personally grow, we contribute to society, and we achieve financial freedom. So when she said those things, I was like, that goes right in line with the thing I want to do, because I studied peace and social justice in college, and I really want to help people, and I want to be a messenger for change in society. And so I saw that what she was doing might be something that I want to do. And as soon as she completed the first presentation I ever saw, I jumped on it because I thought, this can actually transform my life. And not only that, I can help other people transform their lives. So Erica, I can't actually see, oh, there we go. Now I see it. So as I just mentioned, we help people to personally grow. And I can tell you, in the few months that I have been part of this group, in the few weeks that my partner, who has recently joined my network, has been part of this team, I have seen both of us have intense personal growth and transformation. I was in a major depressive episode, and Erica, the words that she gives to the group, the building up that she gives, helped me to realize I can change the way that I think about my life. I can change the way that I let my emotions affect me. So we grow in this business, and this growth is essential, because in order to grow and to personally grow, we have to be the leaders of ourselves. We have to say, we need to change, and we want to help society to change. So let's be the first people to exemplify that. So the next one is social contribution. So we help to build people up through our business. We help to turn them into leaders, help them to go from being followers maybe to becoming people who are followed. And it's beautiful to see people changing. And when we have more people together doing the same thing, there is just such a beautiful resonance that comes from that, and people sending the same message of positive change. And so that is one of the ways that we contribute to society. Another way that can happen is that through these two first pillars of personal growth and social contribution, we can achieve financial freedom through this opportunity that we have. And then we can also contribute to society in other ways, through our finances, through our time, and being able to offer people different quality of life. So yeah, great. So through society, through history, there have been multiple socio-economic transitions. And so for millennia, one of the primary one was the agricultural era. So people relied on having land in order to have wealth, and those people who had the most wealth had the most land had the most wealth. And that divided up. There were the upper class who owned the land and the lower class who worked for the landowners. And you might recall the name serf. Those are the people who worked for the upper class. And what they did was they would work the land. They would give a percentage of what they grew off of the land to the landowner, and they would get a very small percentage of what they did. And that was all that they earned, really. They didn't get gold. They didn't get anything else. All they was working for was their food. So as we got into the 20th century, I know I said that wrong. The 1900s, I think. The agricultural era really started to shift, and people needed to actually start to earn money a different way, because factories came into being, and people were part of the first and second revolution of industrialization. And that's where many children and women started to go to work, and society really radically changed. And so at this point, there was the I think it's called the bourgeoisie. That is the middle class became an actual class. Before, just upper and lower. Now there's the middle class. And now we have wages, and we have people being paid small amounts of money. Their time is being traded for money, and they are usually expected to work in unbearable situations for unbearable amount of times for very little. But that's the way that people were making money, because there wasn't any value as much in agriculture anymore. So now in the 21st century, we have come to the third revolution, which has really happened in the last, we're going to say about 50 years, that the internet has radically shifted our lives and the way that we communicate with people, the way that we can connect across great distances, and the way we can have different styles of businesses that are online. So many of us, instead of buying our Christmas gifts at the store, we will purchase them online and they come to us in the mail. And so that is just one example of how commerce is affected by the internet. And it created alternate ways of producing income. The very last revolution that we are currently going through is artificial intelligence. So I don't know if you're familiar with Alexa, but that is the Amazon artificial intelligence. And that is basically a tool that you can use to do everything from turn the lights on in your house, to get you a piece of data, to make a joke with you. And the thing is that artificial intelligence isn't just, that little box in the corner of your room that is connected all the time to the internet. It goes to factories, completely using machines now, mechanizing of the different jobs that people used to work. The human labor that used to run society is now being replaced by machines, because it will take less hours to complete the product. It doesn't complain about having to work overnight. It doesn't get tired. So there are so many benefits to the industries to not use human labor. And that, unfortunately for us humans, can be a very threatening idea that, oh no, my job might be replaced by an artificial intelligence. Another way to look at it is that we can also look at the internet and this new socio-economic transition as a new opportunity to earn an income and a different way to earn income. So now that the ways of generating income have changed, we really need to ask ourselves some very important questions. And this was the slide. When I saw this, I said, wow, I don't know how to answer these questions. I don't have real notion for most of these. So as I'm going through these, I would really like you to question and think about for yourself. For one, are your family's finances secure? And I know people who, they work so hard for so many years, and one incident or two or three things in 1 year, and all of that work is thrown out the window. Or in 2008, when there was the crash, and so many people who had built up these retirement funds, they lost them. So that relates to the second question. Are you able to retire at age 60? Do you have a 401k? I don't think that most of us do, especially if you're working in the lower echelon of jobs, the blue collar working jobs. Those do not provide you with a retirement plan. And even if they do, sometimes you aren't planning on working that job for the rest of your life. So you put into it, and it's not really going to provide for you after your age 60. Most people cannot retire at age 60. And I see so many people working when they are older at Walmart or something. So do you know how to economically thrive over the next 10 years? And that was a scary thought to me when I thought about that, because not only did I not know how to economically thrive, I did not have an idea of how to do that. How could I? It was a foreign notion to me. And then the next one, are you prepared for the future of society changing and the workforce and the labor standards changing? So the awesome thing is that this is not the last slide. We are going to help you understand how to do those things. And so this will actually help you to understand, so that when we get to the next one, you understand how this concept works for us. So in the 20th century distribution model, 36% will go to the factory. And then the rest of the 64% is divided up among different groups of people. We have the promoters, the wholesalers, the warehouse, and the store that sells it. And 0% of that is actually going to the consumer. Now, for the 21st century distribution model, the same amount goes to the factory, but we have 64% that is now open to the entrepreneur. That is, in this case, the consumer. Somebody who would be able to earn that extra income because they're helping people to connect directly to the factory, and they don't have to have all of these middlemen. So now, what are we doing with network marketing, and what are the benefits that are offered by this new platform for generating your income? Let's compare. So with the linear income, we understand that in order to achieve retirement, we will most likely have to work 30 to 40 years, 8 to 12 hours a day, and that's if you're lucky. And you have to have a limited income. That means that you are dependent on whatever job it is that you work and whatever pay rate that is assigned to that job. And it's based on your certain set of skills and what they assign as you are valued at as an employee. So you are dependent completely on your employer to tell you how many hours you have to work, how long you have to work every day, and how much you deserve to get paid. Now, I like to remind of the minimum wage workers. We have these McDonald's workers, and they're getting paid so low, like $8.50 an hour. And no matter how many coffees they sell a day, no matter how many smiles and I hope you have a good days they give out, they still are only valued at $8.50 an hour a day. How hopeless does that make a person feel when you're so desperate to make ends meet, maybe provide for your children, longing to make your dreams come possible? So here on the other side is the residual income. Now, a lot of us don't even know about this, let alone understand what residual income is. And that's when I saw this one, I was like, oh, this is why this is the answer. Because what residual income is that actually residual income can only be earned by 5 groups of people, I think. I have to count them as I go through them. So artists, we have inventors, we have musicians, we have YouTubers, and now we have network marketers. And that's us entrepreneurs. And so what it is if you consider the idea of a musician, they record an album, they record it once, and they do a very good job. So David, can you answer me a question? Or Eileen? I would like to ask one of you a question. All right, maybe not. All right,
okay.
So
Eileen is there.
Eileen,
yes.
Who is one of your favorite musicians?
One of my favorite musicians is Yo-Yo Ma.
Okay, so Eileen really loves Yo-Yo Ma. And Yo-Yo Ma recorded a very good album with very good song. And what she does is she recommends that song to other people. And so other people go and they purchase that song. But what Yo-Yo Ma did very well was that he saw the vision. He saw, even though I'm only recording this once, and maybe I will only get paid $12 for that first album. Every single time my song is listened to, every single time that album is purchased, I will receive a percentage from every single sale, every single time somebody hears my song. And so as those songs are listened to, as those albums are sold, that money becomes exponentially larger and larger an amount that Yo-Yo Ma will earn. Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you.
So what residual income can do for us is that within 2 to 5 years of working steadily, 1 to 2 hours a day, that's about 7 to 14 hours a week. That's less than a part-time job. And we are working at a flexible schedule. Our time is our own. We decide when we work, whether that is, we get up at 4 in the morning and we work for an hour before we go to our regular job, or in the middle of the night, whatever it is. We can work during the middle of the day. And so we get to decide how we spend those 1 to 2 hours a day working. And eventually, after those 2 to 5 years, we can achieve an unlimited income because we are expanding our network. And therefore we can become independent and financially free. So now that I've talked to you about how residual income works, what we do as network marketers, what is the company that we work with that can help to support us and sustain us as network marketers and as people who represent this company? So the one that we work with, that Send partners with, is For Life. And what For Life was founded by David and Bianca Lisenby. And their CEO is Danny Lee. Now, David and Bianca, I think David had actually already retired, but he was looking for a way to help to deal with his asthma. And so he was doing a lot of research, and he discovered what Dr. Lawrence had actually discovered in 1949, but had sort of been passed over as the polio vaccine and the penicillin had been discovered at the same time. And so transfer factor got overlooked. What transfer factor is immunity molecules that are inside of milk, and they help to teach our bodies intelligence about how to defend against the threats that come against our immunities. And so he discovered these, and he thought, this could be a way to help me be cured from asthma. So he went ahead and they patented transfer factor, and they have FDA approved factory. They have a beautiful process that they have patented as well. And so it is a very exclusive product that For Life alone has, which is really good for us because we're offering something that is unique in the market. Now, Danny Lee, this shows that this company is committed to people being able to move up. Now, Danny Lee started out lower on in the company, and he has worked up into the CEO position. He's a very young CEO. And that is really neat as well, because it shows that they are not having the same mentality about you're only going to be able to get up a certain level in the business, and that's where you level off. And that is really good for us as well. So what is it that we do? So if you look here, we have a variety of different products that you see. For Life is what I meant to say, has industries in healthy anti-aging, weight management, essential oils, and two others. My brain is blanking. Yes?
Immunology is one of them.
Immunology is the most important one. That is where transfer factor is. And a lot of the products, even though they're in the healthy anti-aging or in the weight management, they also have the transfer factor in them. So while they're also helping you in the ways to lose weight or to become stronger, you see the For Life Transform packet there that will help you as if you're a body builder. They also include the transfer factor so that you can become very healthy while you also are working on other goals in your life. Now, what we do is that we become auto consumers. That means we consume ourselves, and then we help other people to understand the awesomeness of these products, and to encourage them to also become part of to also invest in their own wellness. The one thing I want to say about this slide is that all of the For Life products are completely natural, and they are also sustainable, because a lot of times we aren't really aware of what is in our body products. So this slide shows you that there's an entire line of body products: shampoo, hair conditioner, skin facial wash, etc., toothpaste, and a lot of those have what's called microbeads in the normal products. That is a product that is an element that does not break down, and it negatively affects our oceans. And For Life is committed to sustainability because they make sure that their products are not going to negatively affect the environment. So there are several different ways that we earn income and quickly. So the first way is that we have the rapid rewards bonus. So if we have people who are purchasing life points as part of our network, or who are consumers we are connecting them to the business and helping them to receive lower prices on the products, we will immediately receive 25% off of what they consume. So if we have 10 people in our network and each one of them purchases 100 life points, then we will immediately get $250 the very next day in our accounts. This slide will show you that there are other ways for you to share the products lines, and that you can buy packs. If you are someone who wants to be a salesperson, then these will help you to receive the lower wholesale price and to help distribute. Another interesting aspect is the purple line that's in the center that says that you will receive 25% from the very first purchase of your new associates. So a new associate is someone who decides to be part of the network and who decides to be committed entrepreneur. And that's what I am, and that's what Erica and William are. So this is the second and one of the most interesting ways that we earn income, because it's actually very new. Most network marketing companies don't provide this. This is a fixed bonus that is a reward for achieving certain phases in the business. So let me explain this to you. So first, we are going to engage in the business. We are going to consume 100 life points. A life point is a international designation that they have assigned to every single product, has a certain number of life points. And I don't have it here, but if you want to grab that off of the profit thing, you can show that there. If you look at William right there, he has what is the main headline product, that is the 4 Life Transfer Factor Plus, and that is equal to 50 life points. So basically 100 life points is just 2 of those bottles. Now we are engaged in the business, we get the 100 life points, and then we encourage 3 other people to invest in their own health and well-being. They each do their own 100 life points, and that is all that they must need to ever to invest. And then we will receive a fixed bonus of $50. The next level down, as these people understand that the business is good for them and it's good for others, they will want to share the idea. And so they will also tell 3 other people who want to join the business. They each do their 100 life points, and that's when we phase up to $200 fixed bonus. And again, on the third phase, we're doing the very same thing. No one is going over that 100 life points, and we receive an $800 bonus. These fixed bonuses do not add up, but the thing is that they are adding on to other bonuses that we receive, such as the rapid rewards, and then the one that's on the next slide. Or sorry, the slide after this. So this is to also show you there's another way that the business actually rewards us, and that is by providing opportunities to go on cruises and to go on excursions totally around the world. And they want to reward us because we help their business to grow. Now this is the most exciting part, because this is the residual income. This is the one that keeps building on itself and is the unlimited income that will help you to achieve your financial freedom. So on the first level, let's say we have 6 people, and each of those people achieve 250 life points. That will equate to 1,500 life points. And we have different percentages that we receive out of that, 2% plus 2%. That will equal $30. Now, I know that might seem like a very small amount, but that could equal your tank of gas, or that could equal some extra groceries for the week. Now, when you phase up to level 2, you don't just get the the amount for level 2, you also get the amount for level 1. So this shows you how it adds on itself. So you have 36 people in your network. That's by 250 life points. You have 9,000 life points. At this level, you actually get 25% of that life points plus 5% surplus, and you get $1,170 plus $30, $1,200, and that's a month. Now, that is in addition to the other rewards that I showed you. So imagine for yourself, if you were to have $1,200 a month, that might be enough to pay your mortgage. That might be enough to go on a wonderful family vacation. Whatever it is for you, for my family, that would be a wonderful change in our lives. Then you get to level 3. You now have 216 people in your network, 200 by 250 life points. And you can look at the percentage yourself, but you will see at the end, at once a month, you can achieve almost $5,000 just for that level, plus the other $1,200. That is $6,000. My brain is not working. $6,200 a month. I mean, my life, I would be pouring myself at that point, not only into For Life, but into my life dream of being able to help other people and to start my own nonprofit. So let's go to level 4. On this level, you can really see how your income can become unlimited. At this point, you have 1,296 people. And the thing about this is you don't know every single person in your network at this point. The people that you have brought into the network and built up into becoming wonderful leaders are the ones who know them. And so you don't even know the people who you are earning income from at this point. And so you can see how it's like the example of the musician and sharing so many times over that music so it becomes so popular that it can just reach so many people you don't even know. So at this point, you could make not only $2,200 or $22,000 a month plus the other figures that I already talked about. So you're probably thinking, wow, this sounds amazing, but it also sounds a little terrifying because I don't know how to do this from Adam, and I am not trained to be a network marketer. We don't need to worry because that is what the social economic network is for. It is helped to guide you and to give you the knowledge that you need and to help you feel like you are not alone. And I can tell you that I have totally felt that since I joined that I am not alone and that I have books, I have audios, I have a free access to an entire educational system that will help build me up to be the leader that I want to be and to help other people to be. There are 3 different ways to become part of this business. The first way, you will not have an income. You will get the option of being a customer and to be able to benefit from the wonderful products that we have. The second option is to become a distributor. Now, in this option, you are still restricted to a linear income. Every day that you do not sell a product is a day that you will not make any income. So the third option is the option that I chose and that I hope that you would want to choose as well, because this is where you begin to get the residual income and you can start making your dreams come possible through financial freedom, personal growth, and social contribution. Now, what are you waiting for? I felt so passionate about this by this time of the slide. I was thinking, wow, I could actually lift people up and be able to help people to connect to their life goals through this business and be able to help people to get over the limitations that our society places on them. So this helped me to totally understand. It took a little while, being part of this network to realize that time and money and my health don't have to be limitations for me. And just, I ask you to think about that yourself. If you were to become part of this group, would you be able to see some beautiful things happen in your life, some awesome change happen in your life? And so I would like to welcome you to the socio-economic change, and I invite you to take part of our team.
Well, good job, Whitney. Thank you so much for such a beautiful presentation. I feel honored, so honored to be part of this team with you and to have seen your personal growth. It's amazing. This is one of the most touching presentations I've seen in my life.
Oh, thank you.
And it's just amazing to see your growth, to see you've been in this business for a few months and you've become an amazing leader. You've empowered me so many times. You've become a mentor and you are empowering other people. So thank you so much for sharing your time and for explaining to us what we do, how we empower people, and how it is possible to live life differently. Like many of us in this business, we are changing our lives.
Yeah. Well, I expect to see a lot more change going on in my life, and I know that my dreams are going to come possible through this. And I've also already seen the benefit of the product. I mean, I've only been taking transfer factor for a very few months. And I can tell you, I've been giving it to my son. And there have been times where I knew he was going to get sick. I gave him a little bit extra, and he had no symptoms by the very next day. And for myself, I have had migraines since I was 16 years old. And it was so neat because I could see that my immune system being educated, slowly I could feel there would be a day when I knew I was going to get a migraine, because my migraines are related to the weather. And so when I knew it was going to be the migraine day, and then it would be such a slight headache compared to normal. Normally I'm getting very nauseous and I can't eat. And by the end of the day, I am letting all my food come back up. And I didn't have any of those, even though I had a slight headache. And then the next time, it was even less of a headache. And the next time, no headache at all. And for me, that was such a release to realize I don't have to be dragged down by this thing that has put me in bed for hours, for almost once a week, for my entire adult life. And to realize I can have so much energy and I can own my time in a way because my health is better. And it just makes you feel like you can do anything.
Yes, that's how we feel. I think that Patty has something to say.
Whitney, congratulations. Thank you for inspiring me. You are powerful. Powerful. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing your history. You are a great professional in this industry.
Well, thank you. You are a professional too, Mama.
Congrats.
I'm only in this business because of you. So when you think we're so all connected. So yeah, really, that's why we edify each other.
Yeah.
We need each other.
We do. Yeah. So now we can open the floor or the room online. We'll have people online too in YouTube for questions or comments. So if anybody has a question for Whitney, you can ask it now. If anybody has a question for another member, you can also ask it now. Well,
Whitney,
what
is your, or what was your great, I don't remember in English. Erika, please translation. Es, ¿cuál fue su mayor batalla o su proceso?
Yes. Whitney, can you tell us about your process of growth? What was your greatest challenge in this business?
Really, my greatest challenge is reaching out to others. I know that I may seem very outgoing, but I have a dual personality. And when I am in my low states, I want to recede from the public world and not be seen. And this business requires us to go out and to meet others and to reach out. And for a very long time, I had been isolating myself. And so that was the biggest challenge, was to break that habit of isolating myself and to realize that I have many more resources at my fingertips than I realized. And so Erika helped me to realize that it is my own mind that was inhibiting me from realizing that I have people who I could talk to, that I have the ability to overcome my own depression and my own negative personality traits and to change those. And so that was the biggest thing, was just to have that mental break and say, okay, I have control over the way that I think. And I have a choice over what I do each day to challenge any negativity that I feel or that comes up against me. And it's been wonderful to experience that.
Thank you. Do we have other questions? Or
yeah, Eric, I've got a question.
Go ahead, David.
The first thing is, I was muted, because I could see my name and then I could see that it was muted. And I just figured out how to, make it so it wasn't unmuted by hitting the button. But here's my question. I was doing a couple of things, and, there were 3 different options. You got the preferred customer. I wrote that down, and you've got the distributor. And then the last one, as I was writing it down, the screen changed. What was that last option? The third one? The one that, Whitney? Whitney
yes,
is?
Yes, David. We are entrepreneurs. And that means that we are people who expand the network and that we bring new people into this opportunity. So our basis is to share the opportunity with others.
Now, Whitney, though, but are you not all 3? I mean, you said you use the products that would make you a preferred customer. You're absolutely a distributor, and then you're an entrepreneur. So you, in fact, are all 3, correct?
That is accurate. However, what we do as entrepreneurs is we focus less on the distribution aspects because the business is more about auto-consumption. So we teach people how to invest in their own health and well-being, and we don't have to, so that way if people are uncomfortable with distribution, then it's more about recommending the product and helping others to take advantage of something that can help their health and transform their lives and improve their quality of life.
Gotcha. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Do we have any other questions for Whitney? Okay, so this was a great presentation for everybody who is present, and I want to congratulate you for giving yourself the opportunity to be here, because the person who invited you saw something in you. And so I welcome you to thank the person who invited you, because they are thinking about you, and to ask them questions. After this presentation ends, go hunt the person who invited you and ask them the questions that you have. How do I sign up? How do I become an entrepreneur? Because that person is going to be able to better explain you. What you heard today is only 10% of the business. It's just an overview. And for the people who are online, please go ask the person who shared this link with you. They will be able to ask you to share more information with you and to walk you through the different steps of how to do the business. This business is for anybody who has a dream. It doesn't matter if you have money, if you don't have money, if you have time, if you don't have time. This is for everybody. If you want to have a different lifestyle and to be financially free, this may be a great opportunity for you. So go and ask the questions that you have. So with that, I thank you, Whitney, one more time for a beautiful, touching presentation. And I also thank everybody for being here, for being respectful guests, and for asking wonderful questions. So
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Everybody have a beautiful night.
Good evening.
We'll see you next week for our next Zen opportunity.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.